Hello, I am Stampin' Dee Dee, and this is the monthly Dying to Know, and I am so glad to be here with you. I apologize that I didn't come on last night, which was my scheduled night to do Dying to Know, but my husband had been sick 2 nights in a row, all night long, and so I didn't get much sleep the 2 nights before that. And for some reason, I was just totally zoned out. I just totally forgot it. Totally. Which is crazy. Anyway, so I've rescheduled it for tonight, and here we are. And I hope that if you tried to watch it last night and you couldn't get on, I hope to goodness that you'll come back this evening and join me. And if you're here, please let me know. Say hi. Tell me your name. Tell me where you're from. I would just love to know that you're watching. That is such an encouragement to me when I know that you're there. So, here we are. Now, our Dying to Know tonight is the Irresistible Blooms, but I couldn't resist the opportunity to just give you a sneak peek about what's coming tomorrow night. Tomorrow night is Stampin' Thursday, or tomorrow night. Tomorrow morning at 10 o'clock is Stampin' Thursday. And I will be introducing the April monthly stamp club. And this month is Petal Park. And I wanted you to see just a glimpse of what I'll be showing you tomorrow morning. And I'll be demonstrating this set, and we will actually make one of these cards. But the monthly stamp club is it features a different set every month, and this month is Petal Park, and for $35 you get 8 card kits, 2 each of these cards. You will get $20 to $25 in free products to go with that, plus everything you need to make these cards and the tutorials, all of that for $35. If you don't have the stamp set and you want to purchase it at the same time, you can do that, and I'll pay the shipping and tax on that. So be sure and tune in tomorrow morning at 10 o'clock, and you'll get to see what the freebies are, the $20 to $25 in free products, and you'll get to see each stamp set or each card individually, plus I'll be making one of them and demoing that. So I wanted to just give you a little bit of a sneak peek tonight for that. But here's what we're doing tonight. Irresistible Blooms. This set is such a good set. It's such a fun set. The stamps are just the font, the I like you, hooray, it's your day, hello. Guess I could turn it this way. Thank you. And I couldn't be happier to have you as my friend. Aren't those fabulous? And look at that font. All the curls and swirls. I love it. Then you have the 2 flowers. You have 2 different leaves, one with 3 and one with 2, and then a much smaller one. And you've got the splatter stamp. The splatter stamp, I love those splatter stamps. So we're going to look at those, plus we're going to look at the dies. Now, let me sort of just give you a quick run through. One of them I have over here. Let me see if I can pick it up. I've already sort of cut, but we're not going to undo it yet. So this is the circle die. This right here is the circle die that goes here. And we're going to work with that. Then we have this sort of like a beaded curtain die. Then you have your 2 flower dies. And this one, of course, goes right here, goes with that stamp, if I can get it on there. This one goes with this stamp. And die cuts that stamp. This leaf, die cuts that leaf. This one, die cuts this one. And this one, whoops, die cuts this right here. Then you have these extra leaves, which I love that they gave you more than one, because it just cuts the die cutting time in half, doesn't it? And then these leaves, and we're going to look at all those. So this is what Irresistible Blooms consists of. So let's look at how we might use these. All right, let me get my dies back over here. Let's see. You have to, it's like a puzzle. You have to work with it. Well, actually, it was this that goes in there. And one more piece. All right, so let's look at this first piece that I was referring to. I'll set this aside. So this piece, when you run it through, it cuts the center out. And let me take a pick tool. I'm going to get these little pieces out. There aren't many still left in there. So then it cuts this. And you can use this in one of 2 ways. You can cut the center. I could have cut this piece and then removed it. Then I would have this cut out of this, and I could then put this over something. Or, I'm going to show you another way to do this. You can come along here and clip here and here and here and here and 2 more. There. Now, and we're going to set that aside. Now we have a piece like this that we can use. And I thought that's what we might do with this. Now, if you wanted to stamp, let's see if I can find, it must go right here. So I could put this back in there if I wanted to, just like that. Fits perfectly. And then you could, and I would actually turn it so that these are up and down. There we go. So you could put that back in and glue it down, and you could stamp on this. But we're going to take this out. And what I actually do then is keep this piece and die cut leaves or another flower or something out of this. All right. So if we were to, I'm going to move this up here. So I've already stamped and die cut one of the flowers and some of these leaves right here. Let's see what we can do. Let me see what I have over here. All right, I die cut. I stamped and die cut. This one was just die cut, these 2. This one is stamped with this stamp right here. And die cut. This one the same way. So it's all in how many leaves you want to add to this project. Just gonna try to get that right in there. All right. Well, I think that'll do it. And then I might just stamp hello up here. Let me get that. Let me grab some blocks and put my stamp on there. And black memento ink. Ink that up. Make sure I get it good and inked. And I can put that right there, but you know, well, yeah, I can go ahead and do it. Let me see if I've got it centered. Because I can come back and glue later. Yeah, sure. There we go. Hello. So now let's go back. Let me move these things aside. Pick this piece up. And I'm going to use my little tiny pointed tip here. And I'm going to just add a little dot of glue on each of these little beads. And that's going to give me plenty of adhesive for this. Let me get over here and add some more dots of glue. All right, I think we've got enough. So I really don't care which way it goes because I'm not going to add the center back in. So let's just put it right there. Mash it down. Let me get a, I need something. Get it good and all right. Now, let's go back to our flower here, and I'm going to put it down with dimensionals, and I put them toward the center because I want to be able to tuck the leaves in under it. So, move that leaf for right now. I'm going to put it right there. I'll put that leaf, I think I want it up a little bit. So I'm going to add just a little bit of adhesive here. Put that leaf up. I'm going to get my little leaves up a little bit. And then we'll tuck this one in right here, and we don't need much adhesive for that. We'll tuck that one in right there. Right there. And then we've got this one over here. We'll put it toward the top. I'm going to get my leaves bent up a little bit. A little adhesive at the bottom. And here we go. Put it right there. And this one, we'll put it right under it. I'm not sure I got enough. There. All right. I better move it in a little bit because now we need to adhere this. So let me do that. One more side. Right there. Need a little more glue right there. Okay. Now let's get this down. All right. So simple with just a few of the dies. Now, we could add a lot more to this. We could add embellishments. We could add a little ribbon. We could Wink of Stella, the flower. But we're going to move on. I just wanted to show you how you could use that die. Now, I also want to show you the paper that we're using. This is the Hello Irresistible paper. Oh my goodness. It is gorgeous. Look at this one. Look at that. Isn't that pretty? And let's see what else we've got. Let me just pull this up. So you can see that. And the back side is just a mixture of colors. The petal pink, the flirty flamingo, the yellow, the daffodil delight. This one, a print, sort of a gingham print, and on the back of that is another blend of colors. This one is the print of this piece, and on the back, another blend of colors. And then you've got the white leaves on the pretty peacock and the blue lagoon. And on the back, let's see, a blend of colors. And then this one, you can actually use this die to cut these flowers. There we go. You can use that die to cut these flowers and use them on your cards. Isn't that great? And on the back is another blend of colors. And then this one, I love the way they mix. They have the green in with the blue lagoon and the pretty peacock. I mean, the yellow in. And the back of that. This is another really pretty one. Let me take it out. Look at that. Look at the colors in there. That's beautiful. And the back is a sort of a little print with a mixture of pinks. Let's see, what else? And then this one is a really pale green leaves. And the back is a splotch of colors. And then this one is that beautiful, pretty peacock blue lagoon. Look at that. Isn't that pretty? Oh, the black and the back then is a print of the sort of the beads again. I think that's getting close to the end. Oh, and this one has the yellow in it. Isn't that pretty? Has the yellow, and on the back is a hatched print. And then this one, the leaves have more of the yellow. And a blotch on the back, sort of a splatter. And then this one is just the leaves. And the hatch mark, the pattern on the back. Aren't they pretty? Love these colors. Love, love, love them. Let's see, they're the Daffodil Delight, Flirty Flamingo, Lost Lagoon, Petal Pink, Pretty Peacock, and Soft Seafoam. Beautiful. So, there is that card. Let's look at another. Okay, let's see. Here is, now this is a sample that I did with my class this past Saturday, using the same piece, cutting it loose and using it over some of that paper. And I actually stamped this leaf on the centerpiece that came out of this. So, you know, it has pieces in there. And then this one I just stamped and die cut on the white. So that's another way to use that piece. And And then this is using it, leaving it attached and making that the front of your card. And then putting that over some of the pattern paper. I heat embossed in white on the petal pink. Well, no, I think I did that on the Flirty Flamingo. And then cut a couple of those leaves. And I actually cut a couple of these smaller leaves too. A couple of these. And just kind of spread them out in there. I used a couple there. One of the leaves I did in white and used it there. The other two I did in that soft seafoam. All right. So another way to use this circle die, a really fun die to use. Let me see if I can get it back in here without too much trouble. Yeah, there we go. Okay. All right, then we're going to look at that beaded curtain of sorts. So this one, and I'm going to demonstrate this one. And it's not the easiest thing in the world to do, but it's not so hard that you can't do it. And I'm going to show you how to get it attached at the top and the bottom like this, where it looks like it's just part of the card front. So I did that. Again, I just used the die and cut out several leaves and stamped and die cut 3 of the flowers, 2 of the smaller ones, and 1 of the bigger ones. And I just put it on a stylish shape circle out of that pattern paper, that same designer series paper. All right, so that's using that. And this one uses it where it's cut loose. I just cut all the way to the top and all the way to the bottom. So you can see the difference in the two. This one, it's bordered, cut within the card front. This one, and we're gonna look at that too. Different ways to do it. And then the splatter I used on this, stamped and die cut the leaves. Again, I just stamped and die cut 1 of the flowers. And that pretty thank you. And on this one, I heat embossed the hello with black. All right, and then one more before we do some die cutting. This one, I cut it out of the black and then cut it loose and mounted it on the pattern paper. So many different ways that you can use this die. So many different ways. And we're going to look at that. All right, and then I just stamped and cut out, die cut 2 of the flowers. Again, I stamped and die cut some of the leaves, and some of the leaves I just used the die and then mounted them on top of some of that beautiful designer series paper. You can't beat that. It is so gorgeous. All right. All right, so let's look at using that die. So I'm going to bring in the black. Let's see. First we're going to die cut it into this piece of cardstock. And I'm going to show you how we do that. I have to bring the big die cut machine over here. So I'm moving things away to make room for it. All right. Here we go. Get it a little further this way. It's not as easy to demo with this one because it's so big. So all right, here we go. So what we're going to do is I'm going to position it with the die right off below the edge of the cardstock. So we know that one's not going to cut through. Let me put a piece of tape on it. Let me use this. And I just moved it in maybe not even a half an inch. Okay, I've got that one secured down. Now, the second one is going to depend on where we position our top plate. And so, let me move it. The top plate, I'm going to put it, I don't want the bottom of this to cut. Oh, poo. Let me move it. All right, now I think you can see it. See, my plate ends before the paper ends. And so it won't die cut any further than the edge of this plate. So that's how we're going to do that. And we're leaving about the same amount of space at the top and the bottom. And let me send it through. Now what it's going to do is it's going to go flying off. But that's okay. Because it doesn't. There, I held it. All right, now we're going to look at it. Take the top plate off. And we're going to see that. Now we have to be careful because we don't want to pull the main die cut pieces out. We want them to stay. All right. So now we have our die cut piece. All right, I'm going to move it off. I'm going to move it back over here. All right, now let's look at it. So we want to leave these pieces in. So I'm going to take this piece and snip it out. And I'm going to snip this one. Okay. These are the ones we want to snip out. We want all of these. I hope you can see that. I'm going to snip that one, snip that one, snip right there, and snip right there. All right, get all those pieces out of the way. Now, we've got these big pieces that we're going to remove by snipping them down here. So, this is your sort of your die cut beads, and we need to snip the other pieces out. So what I'm going to do is push the other pieces up. Here's one of them. It just takes a little bit of effort, but it's so worth it. So we're going to snip that one out. Be careful. You don't want to cut the curtain out. So we have one here. I'm going to snip it out. We have another one right here. And we're going to snip it out. And we have another one right here, a little bitty one. And we're going to, you got to get under it. Snip it out. See, it's beginning to really fall into place, isn't it? And then these are the last two that we want to get out. I think they are. Okay, I'm going to snip that one out. And we're going to snip this one out after I get above the... All right, there we are. Get my trash. So what we have to do, though, is glue this part back down. But you see how we've got the curtain within the bounds of the card. So let's use this one. And we want these leaves to show through. But you know what? There is no sense in me hiding this much of my paper. So I'm going to cut about that much off and save it and use it for another project. I don't waste anything. Now, we've got this left. We might could even use the smaller piece. Let's see. Yep. So we're going to take it and we're going to glue it right inside, right underneath that edge. We're just going to glue the top and the bottom right now. And we're going to glue it and move it down a little bit. There. All right. Now we have it glued underneath. And what we want to do is come along here and glue these down. And we probably could have done that first. But let's just get some dots of glue. We don't need many. Yeah, my piece is coming up. We do need right on the edge. All right, now let me see if I can get my piece back down and get these down, and looky there. Now if I want that in, I can scoot that one in a little more. Scoot that one in. All right. I think we've got it. Looks like I had a little glue right there. Okay, I think we got it. So now we're going to glue the whole thing to the card front. I want the whole we want it all. We especially want those edges. Go right down the middle, right along that. I think I've got it. All right. Now it goes to the card front. And I just think that look is so cool. I think it's so cool. All right. So, now if we want to add a flower in here somewhere, we could do a sentiment on here. If we wanted to do that, if we wanted to like put that right there, put a sentiment on it, maybe a leaf or two, maybe even in a different color. I don't have any cut right now, but it would probably show up a little better if I had a different color. Do I have another leaf somewhere? Usually I have leaves lying around everywhere. I don't see any more. All right. So you get the idea, though, of how that card can, I mean, it is just stunning the way that looks. However you want to do it. So that's some ideas with that one. The other way to do it is so much easier. And that would be this way or this way. Because you're just going to cut them both off of the same direction, off of both ends. And on this one, you're going to trim these out and put them on the card front. On this one, you're going to just glue them down. You're going to have to repiece it because they're loose now. But I'm going to show you. We're actually going to do this one, or a facsimile of that. All right, so we need our die cut piece, and when you do it that way I just did, it tends to bend it a little bit because you've got it off of the cutting mat, but it still does just great. All right, let me bring in now this one. And this time we're going to go all the way across. We're going to cut the whole thing. So I'm positioning it so that it is off of both ends. And I want it to be even. Although we're going to pop them out anyway. All right, let me get it on the plate. All right. Just plate over it and run it through. I know you can't really see. All right. So you see that it actually cuts the two ends away. And if you wanted to do this one, you would position your two ends onto your card base. And then when you take these out, you would fit them back in there. And that's how you come up with this. So let me start getting these out. And they are joined at different places along the way, so it's not a total where you've got all these separate pieces. You do have a lot of separate pieces, but not totally. Well, let me get this out. Get these out. The little threads are tiny, so you really want to be careful not to break them. I'll get this one out. All right. I think I've got all the beaded pieces Nope, there's one more. This one. There we go. All right. Now we've got them all loose. I take this extra piece out. Take those extra pieces out. All right. So we could do one of two things right here. We could take this, and I need to get the, let me get the random, let me clear out all the extra stuff. There's just one more. There we go. All right, so here are our, whoop. There's a piece right there, a piece right there, a piece right there. Yeah, it cut. And piece down here. All right, now, all random pieces. Now, we could lay this down here. And we could position this around it. Let's see. No, I know this is this one. Maybe I've got it backwards. There we go. Now, we could put it down, and we would have cut the whole card front, and we would have this then. The pieces positioned in the cardstock. You know why I did that, I think? Because I think it's upside down. That was the deal. But it doesn't matter. We're not going to use these pieces because I want to just position it on this card front as an accent piece. Now you can see they are attached. So you're not going to be fooling with all these random stray pieces like it looks like you will. All right, we're going to put that right there. So I'm going to bring in my silicone mat, and I'm going to put glue in as many of the round places as I can do, or as I feel necessary. And with the silicone mat, you don't have to worry about it sticking to your, I do want to try to get those ends, sticking to your paper underneath it. All right, I'm going to put it back on the mat. And I'm going to position this right here. All right. So we have it. You want to hold it until it adheres, because you're not using a whole lot of glue, but a little bit of glue works. That one had glue on it. All right, there we go. I think it's adhered down. So now we're going to take this and trim the back. More little bitty pieces. Okay. Could have trimmed that one a little bit closer. Okay. There we have our card front. Let me adhere it to this. Now, at this point, if you wanted to wrap ribbon around it in some way, you would certainly be able to do that, but I'm not going to. I think that is enough. I love that beaded curtain look. I don't know how else to describe it. It does look like a beaded curtain, doesn't it? All right. Here we go. Center it. Now we're ready to add whatever we want to it. If we want to add a flower, we can do that. I just kind of went ahead and cut out this sentiment piece. Okay, let me glue the sentiment onto the mat. Glue it on. Get that on. So, let's see. How do we want to do it? I kind of like it that way better. Let me cut out a couple more of these leaves. And I'm just going to use the pattern paper. I'll use this side. Because once you cut the leaves, the pattern paper doesn't show. And I might as well do a couple of these as long as I'm running it through. So let me do that. All right. Get my mat, my plate. Position it on here. Run it through real quick. So we have some more leaves. Get our leaves out. There. Usually they fall right out. So I was surprised. They were hanging around in there. But of course, when you do it on live video, nothing is going to go as it was planned. All right. Okay, there's that one. Put those back over there, and I have another leaf here, right there. And I have a lot of mess here that I'm just going to clean up later. And one, is that one still in there? No? One, two, oh, it's over here. No? Yeah, the leaf is still over there. Okay. Now, we've got a little bit to play with here. And I could use either side, but I'm going to go with this side. Let's see. We're just playing around to see how it looks. I don't know. Maybe I don't need leaves on both sides. What do you think? Do I? It's really not going to show up over there unless you put it down here. I think I'm just going to put them on the one side. All right, so here we go. We're going to use our dimensionals. We're done with that. Put dimensionals on it. Sort of do them in the center so I can tuck the leaves in. Oh, the leaves aren't going to tuck into this. All right. Put that right there. Hooray, it's your day. Let me make sure I've got it. All right. Now we'll also put a dimensional on our flower. And this one we will do in the center. And if you wanted to put a dot of blue right here where it's going to sit on top of the sentiment piece, you could do that. There. All right, put a little blue on here. There. Okay, just about done. Oh, I put it on the wrong side. It doesn't matter. All right. And if I want to use one of these, I might, let's see. I like that. And bring it out from that piece. Just bring it out from up there. Looks like just another little piece of the leaf, doesn't it? Nah, I think that's enough. So, there you go. Another card. I hope that has helped you to see all the different ways that this can be used. Now, I didn't add splatters because that was dark. But you can see how the splatters are added and how pretty. In fact, on this card, I went ahead and did the envelope and added the splatters. I don't know if you can see that or not. Added the splatters to it, the flower and the splatters. And inside, I added a flower on this one. All right. And just some gemstones. I don't think I did the inside of that one. That's the one. And this one, the I Like You. And some gemstones. So I think the only thing I didn't use, I think I used it on this one. The little bitty stamp. This one right here. I used it right there. Yeah. So, all right. I hope that has helped. Let me put this back in here. I'll have to get all the junk out of it. Oh, let me go ahead and push these out real quick. It'll only take a second to get those pieces out. All right. I'm going to bend it back. These are bendable. They do that just fine. Okay, and all of our pieces are down except our hello. And did we not? Yeah, we did. Let me get the hello back in there. Clean it. Put it back in there. All right, so we have our cards, our multitude of cards here. And the one we put together that we didn't quite finish. And our stamp set and our dies. Irresistible blooms. And our paper. The Hello Irresistible. Hello Irresistible. So, I hope that has helped you. I hope now you'll go get this set and that you will give it a try. It is not hard. You just have to know what to do with it. And if you don't have a demonstrator that you order through, I would love to help you. You can text me. You can message me. My online store is deannablackman.stampinup.net. deannablackman.stampinup.net. And I would love to help you. My email is SuzyZoo, SUZYZOO, at Verizon.net. Suzy Zoo. Remember that cartoon character ages ago? When I taught school, my whole room was done up in Suzy Zoo. So I just kept that. I kept that email. SuzyZoo at Verizon.net. Thank you for watching. If you're watching this on YouTube, please leave me a comment. Let me know that you're watching or that you watched it. And if you have a question, I check back regularly to see if there are any questions that need to be answered. I'd be glad to help you. And share it. If you think somebody else needs to see this, needs to see Irresistible Blooms in use, please share it with them. Thank you again for watching, and God bless.